Oh yes, guys, gals, and everything in between. We are back. Alright, guys, gals, and everything in between. I'm back, and I'll have a video about that later, but I am here today to review for you Tron Ares. So Tron Ares is the third film in the Tron franchise that has repeatedly flopped over and over again. It stars Jared Leto as Ares, and Ares is the new security program that's not Tron, and they have an adventure. I don't know how to explain this film, realistically. It feels like a big, ambitious story. And it is, to a degree, but it feels a bit like a one-shot comic book graphic novel story. We don't have Tron, because Tron is not in Tron. We have Ares. So now I guess this is called Ares, which it doesn't sound right. Now we've developed technology that the programs can come into the real world, but there is a catch. They can only be in the real world for 30 minutes. Alright, that's cool. That's an interesting concept, because they're looking for, basically, the code to unlock their ability to stay. Now I know this poses more questions than answers, because did that mean Quora on their bike ride home? Because who knows how long that took. Did she just explode into a million pieces? We don't know. It's never really established. They kind of took an interesting concept, took none of the characters from the other ones, and said, let's do our own thing. And that's where I get frustrated with the movie. That being said, I will say, I liked the movie. Visually, it was stunning. There was this level of beauty and scope and epicness with just the way it was shot. At the same time, you have the detriment of this feels kind of pointless. That's the downside, because Tron 1 and Tron 2 had a really interesting, cohesive narrative. But Tron Ares is basically a one-shot. There's really cool action scenes, which are basically music videos for the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack. While I'm on that sidetrack, the soundtrack was in fact a banger, and I am not a Nine Inch Nails fan, but this soundtrack was awesome. You just feel that beat in the movie theater, and you're like, I am feeling this. Do I think the Daft Punk soundtrack was better? Yes, it had a cohesive thought and had more signature sound. But that being said, the Nine Inch Nails soundtrack was awesome. It feels like a Tron-inspired music video with the soundtrack, if that makes sense. Like, there was no reason for some of that plot to happen other than they pushed a button, they're like, yeah, this is a Tron movie. So Tron things happen. I feel like I'm crapping on this movie more than I intend to be, but I actually really enjoyed this movie. Is it my favorite Tron movie? No. Is it my least favorite Tron movie? Technically, yes. But I still enjoyed it, and I've now seen it twice in theaters, and I got a kick out of it from beginning to end. So there is that aspect. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Jared Leto. He's there. He plays Ares, and he's there. The rest of the cast is pretty forgettable. I think they made a mistake by not bringing in Cillian Murphy. I think they made a mistake by not having Bruce Boxleitner in some capacity, or Garrett Hedlund, or Olivia Wilde. They just kind of, in photos and in the background, be like, yeah, they just kind of pissed off and did their own thing and said, this doesn't matter. So you have that issue, and it's glaring. This is not Tron 3. This is a Tron spin-off movie that is set in that world, and that's what you have to look forward to. Visually, it's incredible, but it's nowhere near on par with Tron Legacy, which I stand by is a cinematic masterpiece, and the original Tron, which I think is a movie that defined science fiction in many ways. So you have that you're leading up to, and I would never expect another filmmaker to be like, yeah, what I'm doing is somehow going to top that. So I'm not upset that it's not as good as Legacy. That being said, I still love it, and I had a good time. Jared Leto's there, though. So there that is. There's also random cast members that you're like, Holy crap, you are great in everything, and you're in the movie for about 3 seconds of screen time. I don't get that. I really don't. But the movie itself is cohesive, it's tightly fit, it's a simple story. 30 minutes, there's an infinity code. And yeah, they pretty much disregard the entire Tron cast from 1 and 2, but there is, obviously it's in the trailer, a Jeff Bridges cameo. But aside from that, it's its own thing. Even the like NCOM people, new people, that they just kind of cast themselves. So you have that going for you, and that's kind of a struggle. And because I kept missing that cast. But once I sat back and I thought about the fact that this is pretty much like the equivalent of a one-shot graphic novel set in the world of Tron, I had a lot of fun with it. So I will say, Tron Ares is big screen worthy. Alright guys, gals, and everything in between, did you enjoy it? Did you not? Don't forget to like and subscribe. I got plenty more videos coming to you. And yes, that is the Tron popcorn bucket, because your boy got it. Love you guys.